All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to take all that stuff you've learned about HTML and actually do something with it. We're going from the absolute basics, the building blocks, to creating some seriously cool projects you can actually show off. So if you're ready to stop just learning and start building, you're in the right place.
I mean, let's be real, who hasn't, right? There's something so cool about typing a few lines of code and seeing a real live web page just appear. It feels like magic. And the best part? It's way more achievable than you might think. You know, every single website you've ever visited, from your favorite social media site to the simplest little blog, they all have one thing in common. They're all built on a fundamental structure. And that structure, that essential blueprint for everything on the web, that's HTML. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a quick look at what HTML really is. Then we'll cover the core stuff like tags and attributes. After that, we'll level up with some pro skills, and then, my favorite part, we're going to jump into a bunch of awesome projects you can start building today, from beginner stuff to more advanced challenges.
Okay, so let's start at square one. What exactly is this blueprint we keep talking about?
HTML stands for HyperText Markup Language, and it's basically the language we use to create websites. The best way to think about it is like the skeleton of a human body. It provides all the core structure. This is a head, these are the arms, these are the legs. Everything else, like the style and functionality, gets built on top of that skeleton. So if HTML is the skeleton, what are the bones? Well, that would be tags and attributes. These are the absolute fundamental pieces you'll be using over and over again to build out any web page. Now, one of the first concepts you've got to get right is nesting. It's just a fancy word for putting elements inside other elements. The order here is so important. You have to close the last tag you opened first. Think of it like putting lids on a set of Tupperware. You got to close the smallest one before you can close the bigger one it's sitting in. And this slide shows you exactly what I mean. See the right way? The right tag, which makes the text bold, is opened and closed completely inside the paragraph P tag. Perfect. But on the right, they're overlapping. The browser might try to figure out what you meant, but this kind of messy code is how you end up with broken pages and a lot of headaches. Okay, next up, attributes. These are little bits of extra information you add to an element's opening tag. They give the browser more instructions. For example, it's not enough to just say, I want an image here. You have to tell the browser which image, right? That's where attributes come in. This is the perfect example. For an image, the source attribute is non-negotiable. It's the source, telling the browser where to find the picture. Then you've got alt text, which is absolutely crucial. It describes the image for people using screen readers. And of course, width and height do exactly what you think. They